Hey all, this is Riverbluff Baggers here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Iron Butt, the ride around Kansas.
The route we took for the ride around Kansas is a established route by the Iron Butt Association. We started in Troy, Kansas, made a stop in Leavenworth, then down to Baxter Springs, across the south side of Kansas, down to Elkhart, Kansas, up to Burn City, and then back over to Troy again. The route itself is around 1,220 miles. I think the Google Maps shows it as 1,208 miles, but you have a little bit of deviation here and there. But for us, that's really about like riding from here to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. If you can do that in 24 hours, that's the length that it took, as you can see there on the maps that I'm putting up on the screen there. It's a pretty grueling ride, and we're going to talk today just a little bit about some of the considerations to make if you're going to choose to do an Iron Butt. And a lot of this might be specific to the one that we did, but we also feel like there's some overall general themes and topics that you can think about if you choose to do one. Yeah, we're here in Baxter Springs, Kansas. We just finished the first leg of the Iron Butt ride around Kansas. We haven't filmed too much footage because it's in the dark. It's 1:36 in the morning. Jerry's taking a picture of his receipt over here.
Yes, I am. Okay, so with our ride around Kansas, we had certain stops that we had to take pictures of our receipt and our odometer at the same time. Actually just hold them up there and click them at the same time. But with our ride, we took a picture on every stop we made to have better documentation for this Iron Butt that we were doing around Kansas. So the reason why we had to do this a second time, when you take a picture of your receipt and your odometer, you got to have, the location. So, it's either got to be a Casey's or whatever it is. And then it's got to have it's got to be time stamped. So when we did this the first time, we had stopped at our first location, did the whole thing, and got home and realized our very first stop, unfortunately, did not have the name of business on it. It had the time stamp, and it had the name of business. So we failed at that one pretty much.
So the first time it was at a gas station, and it was our start place and our finish place. So that was why we didn't get the association to certify the first time.
We didn't even turn it in because we knew it was a fail.
Because we had two of them that had the same thing. So that's why we did it twice.
And it was a fail.
Yeah.
When we took the pictures of the receipts, we always get, again, the odometer and the receipt. If there is a problem with the receipt, I know that in Elkhart, the time that was listed on the receipt was not the actual time, but the Iron Butt Association and their rules makes allowance to correct a receipt. We put that in our documentation. I also put that in the cover letter that we used when we applied for the Iron Butt certification. But the most important thing, again, is just to have this thing documented clearly and concisely so that when the people that are reviewing the documentation take a look at it, they can quickly take a look and say and see that you've been where you said that you were supposed to be at the time that you were there.
Here comes Tom, a little sustenance to get energized. Old Dr. Pepper. How's it been so far?
Hey, it's been a little adventure. Seen quite a few deer this time that we didn't see last time.
Here's Joe. Joe's got his receipt in hand. Getting ready to take our pictures, right?
Yes, we
How's it been going?
Been going good. It's like a date without for one. So it's a great day.
The first time we attempted the Iron Butt Challenge right around Kansas, we left at 3 in the morning. We thought that getting up early and getting a good quick start across the northern part of Kansas would do us well, but we ended up riding a lot in the dark at the end. So we decided we'd leave at 9:30 at night, get the bulk of our riding in the dark done at the beginning. We ended in the daylight. We felt more refreshed. We weren't quite as tired, weren't sleepy. I felt like we were safer to do that.
Yeah, it was. And we was more awake during the night.
Yeah.
So it was definitely helpful.
Yeah.
So being the leader, usually I led this whole thing, and we seen a lot of deer. We seen a lot of wildlife after dark. So when you're doing these 24 hours and 1,000 miles, be sure that you're awake and scanning the side of the road. I seen a big deer one time going on this trip, and I hollered it out, "Hey deer, right hand side." And I looked back a little bit later and I couldn't see these guys. I was like, what? They just pretty much stopped on me. So they seen a lot more deer than I did, because once they got to them, there was like 10 or 12 of them on the side of the road. And I only seen the big buck because I'm a buck hunter. So we just, when you're in the dark, be sure you're looking for deer, raccoons. I actually ran over a coon that night, but it was already smashed, thank God. And, you know, be prepared for anything when you're riding at night.
So we just pulled into our, is this the fourth stop? Yeah. Fourth stop for Iron Butt, dodging some weather here. You can see here, pretty crazy looking clouds.
Oh yeah.
What do you think so far?
That was a windy ride there.
Oh.
Storms, when we left, it didn't look like there was any weather problems going to be, but by the time we got to Medicine Lodge, we ran into some storms that was on the horizon, and we was prepared to put our rain suits on, but we ended up squeezing right through it. So we didn't put rain suits on. Got lucky.
Sure didn't look like it though. I thought it was gonna get wet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We got windy before we got to that, but we never got wet. So
Back to when he was saying deer, we wear headsets. So as soon as he said deer, I mean, he didn't really scream it out. We heard him from behind us, so we heard it on our headsets. And that's when Neil and I and Joe backed off a little bit, and Tom just seen one, and we seen several. So I mean, it was a little scary there for a while. So
where we at, Jerry?
Bird City, Kansas.
We finally made it to Highway 36. We're on the home stretch.
This is our last check-in before we get home.
Yeah.
We'll make at least probably two more stops. Definitely one more.
Yeah.
For gas.
And it is what time? It is 2:30, 2:35. So we got 350 miles?
Yeah, 348.
348 miles to go. So it'll be close. Put us in there about 8:30 probably with stops and so we'll beat it by a half hour hopefully.
That's the 1,200 miles. We're gonna get the 1,000 pretty easy.
Yeah, 1,000 would be pretty easy.
What's up?
What is up?
We're in the fourth corner of Kansas. Today.
In the packet, they give you a whole bunch of stuff, but when you send this off, it takes approximately 5 months. So we did this on July 9th and 10th and turned it in September, and we just got it back like the end of January. So in the packet, they give you a nice Iron Butt Association license plate, which is pretty nice. They give you a nice patch that you can put on your jacket, I guess a shirt if you wanted to. They give a nice little pin.
The pin is actually the Ride Around Kansas pin.
Yes.
The patch is the saddle sore pin, so a little bit of difference there.
They give you a bunch of paperwork. They give you a certificate that's signed, and I think it's dated. No, it is not dated, but it's got your name in it. This is a certificate that on the 10th of July of 2021, Tom Sharp rode a Harley-Davidson Ultra Classic, a total of 1,225 grueling miles in less than 24 hours, starting in Troy, Kansas, and it told every stop and give the whole ride. So it was pretty neat. They actually give you 2 certificates. So that was pretty nice. Then they also give you a Saddle Sore 1000 finishers. And on the top of the list is my name because it's sent to me. So Jerry, your name was on the top of the list. Yep. So, and then it tells actually the 1,225 miles right around Kansas 1000. So it tells, and then there's somebody down here that got 1,009 miles, California 1,000. So there must be a California ride or something. So whatever ride you do, it'll be specific for you on this line, on this page somewhere. So it's pretty neat.
This stuff, I mean, you don't get all this stuff for free.
Oh,
You have to pay for, there's 2 or 3 different packets, I think.
Yeah, I think ours was around $50 or so.
Yeah.
we got the full Mountie.
Yeah,
I think is what it was.
full
Cabin.
We got everything you can get, I believe, is what we ended up doing. Hell, our ass got sore twice, so we figured we might as well get it all. So you gotta pay for some of this stuff. I think if you don't pay for anything, I think you just get the certificate and maybe the patch. I'm not sure. You'd have to check on the website for that, and we'll put a link to the website in our video. But the rest of the stuff you got to pay for, which is well worth it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good stuff. So thank you, Iron Butt Association, for everything you do for us motorcyclists. It's pretty nice to have this stuff, and accomplishment that we feel like we did it, and
We deserved it.
and yeah, and gonna do it again.
so.
Maybe not around Kansas.
So it'll be close. Put us in there about 8:30 probably.
I think one of the reasons I feel proud about the stuff we've got is that riding 1,225 miles around Kansas is not easy. There's lots of saddle sore 1,000 finishers that will pick interstate roads, easier roads, faster roads. And when you're riding across south central Kansas, western Kansas, you're going through a lot of little towns, a lot of stops. So I feel like, fellas, we've done a real accomplishment here.
Oh yeah.
I know that we'll probably try this again. Maybe we'll try the interstate route to compare. But I do think that there is a difference between some of these saddle sore 1000s when you take a look at the route that you do and the difficulties of sometimes getting a route where you're going on back roads.
Well, we was designated where we had to stop.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
in certain towns, so that added to it a little bit, I think.
Yes.
If we was on the interstate just going 75, 80 mile an hour, straight line, 550 miles, and then turn around and come back home, I think it'd been a lot easier.
Probably would have been easy. Yep.
But, to each their own. And we're gonna try it and compare it.
Well, this is the Riverbluff Baggers. Like and subscribe, share, and hopefully we give you some good information on what it means to complete an Iron Butt Challenge.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.